What happens when the world's fastest drivers hand their keys to the world's most famous faces?
No, don't turn it off! Don't turn it off! You got it, it's fine.
Emilia Clarke, best known as the Mother of Dragons, finding out what happens when an F1 driver takes her for a ride.
Oh my god!
The car? A McLaren 750S, a beast that rockets from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2 seconds and tops out at 205 miles per hour. The man behind the wheel? Sam Bird. Calm, composed, and clearly thrilled to introduce Emilia to a new kind of adrenaline. Before the drive, Emilia's nerves were already buzzing. She left half excited, half terrified. For someone used to cruising in London traffic, the cockpit of a McLaren felt completely alien. Seatbelts clicked, cameras rolled, and Sam gave her that signature grin. Then he hit the accelerator. Instant chaos. Emilia's reaction was pure, unfiltered shock. The kind of scream that starts in your stomach and takes flight before your brain catches up. As the McLaren's engine howled, her laughter kicked in between shrieks. The kind of hysterical joy that only comes from realizing you're both thrilled and slightly terrified at the same time. When Sam unleashed full power, she completely lost it. Eyes wide, knuckles white, alternating between "oh my god" and uncontrollable laughter.
Oh my god!
But here's the magic. The moment the car slowed down, fear gave way to absolute elation. If Emilia Clarke's ride was pure panic meets laughter, the next passenger flipped the script completely. Most people scream for the driver to slow down, but Michelle Rodriguez begged for more. You'd expect that from someone who's lived life a quarter mile at a time. Known for her wild stunts in the Fast and Furious films, Michelle isn't just a movie racer. She's the kind who actually learned race driving just to feel the real thing. So when Lando Norris offered to take her for a spin, this wasn't going to be another nervous celebrity gripping the seat for dear life. From the moment she slid into the passenger seat, you could feel her excitement. She was talking cars before the seatbelt even clicked. And right there, the energy shifted. Lando wasn't just driving, he was vibing. It was less driver versus victim and more two petrol heads geeking out at 120 miles per hour. But here's where it gets good. Because while everyone else on this list is praying for the ride to end, Michelle was asking for another lap.
We gotta do one more lap, right?
Every gear change, every corner, every scream of the engine made her more alive. By the time they pulled back into the pit, she didn't just thank Lando, she hugged him. Most passengers crawl out of the car promising never to do it again. Michelle, she'd probably ask for a second round, but faster this time. And while Michelle Rodriguez was grinning through every gear shift, not everyone could keep their cool. Because when Lewis Hamilton's in the driver's seat, even the most camera-ready faces start to crack.
I'm terrified!
By the time Kendall Jenner showed up for her turn with Lewis Hamilton, you'd think she'd seen enough fast cars to stay cool. Fashion weeks, private jets, luxury, everything. Speed shouldn't faze her, right? Wrong. Before her seatbelt was even buckled, she admitted it herself that she was super scared.
I'm terrified!
And honestly, she had every reason to be. Because when Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion and certified speed whisperer, invites you into the passenger seat, you're not going for a drive. You're signing up for a controlled adrenaline overdose. Hamilton tapped the accelerator, barely, and Kendall instantly lost it. The scream came fast, and so did the car. Her grip tightened on the seat, knuckles whitening with every turn. You could practically see her brain trying to process how something this loud, this fast, and this relentless could still be legal. Then came the moment every viewer was waiting for, the speed reveal. Lewis calmly mentioned how fast they were actually going, and her face said it all. Total disbelief. You know that split second when fear turns into awe? Yeah, she blew right past it back into panic territory. The rest of the ride was pure chaos. Shrieks, nervous laughter, and that unmistakable, I might actually die, but this is kind of amazing energy. By the time the car slowed to a stop, you could almost hear her heart pounding louder than the engine. Hamilton just smiled. Mission accomplished. Most F1 drivers aim for lap times. Hamilton, he aims for emotional whiplash. And judging by Kendall's face, he nailed it. Kendall Jenner might have screamed like her life depended on it, but surely a world-class sprinter would fare better, right? Wrong. The world's fastest man met the world's fastest driver, and speed suddenly stopped being fun. If there's anyone on Earth who should be immune to speed, it's Usain Bolt. The man literally built his legend on outrunning time itself. So, when he climbed into a car with Lewis Hamilton, he looked calm, confident, maybe even a little smug. After all, what's a car compared to the fastest man alive? Turns out, quite a lot. From the moment Hamilton revved the engine, that confidence began to evaporate. And then came the moment of truth, the traction control prank.
No, don't turn it off! Don't turn it off!
What followed was sheer chaos. Hamilton unleashed the car into a series of wild drifts that had Bolt clinging to the dashboard like his life depended on it, which, judging by the noise coming out of his mouth, he fully believed it did. The world's fastest man suddenly looked like he'd rather be anywhere else than in that passenger seat. When the tires finally stopped screeching and the dust settled, Bolt slumped back, half laughing, half processing the near-death experience he'd just survived. His first words? "Oh my god, tried to kill me. He tried to kill me, bro."
He's trying to kill me! He tried to kill me!
Hamilton, ever the showman, shot back. "Yo, bro, you dead?" Bolt, between nervous laughter, "No, I'm not dead." And that's the irony that made this one unforgettable. The man who made speed look effortless was completely undone by it. Hamilton didn't just give Bolt a ride, he redefined what fast really means. After Bolt's near-religious experience, you'd think nothing could top that. Then George Russell handed Ed Sheeran a helmet, and the world's calmest crooner went from "Shape of You" to "Screams of You." It started like a wholesome fan moment. Ed Sheeran, guitar-slinging national treasure, finally meeting his Formula One hero, George Russell. You could see it in his face. Pure joy. That wide-eyed, "I can't believe this is happening" grin. But as every passenger in this series learns, F1 drivers don't do wholesome. They do warp speed. The moment the engine fired, Ed's expression shifted from admiration to alarm. Within seconds, his smile dissolved into full-on screams of desperation. And while Ed clung to the seat like it was a lifeboat, George Russell sat there chatting casually, laughing, talking about cornering like they were on a Sunday drive to Tesco. Every burst of acceleration drew a new yelp from Ed, each louder than the last. He barely managed words between the chaos, except for one painfully honest line. "It's not a good time. It's not a good time." Russell, of course, found this hilarious, which only made it worse. By the final lap, Ed looked like he'd just performed a 2-hour concert in a thunderstorm. The adrenaline had clearly short-circuited his brain. He was pale, shaking, and, in his own words, almost about to pass out. That's the thing about F1 speed. Even the calmest souls, the softest voices, the guys who can sing to a stadium without blinking, they will break under that kind of force. Ed Sheeran arrived as a fan, he left as a survivor. In the end, every celebrity who dared sit beside an F1 driver walked away with the same wild-eyed grin, equal parts terror and euphoria. Whether it was Emilia Clarke discovering her inner thrill-seeker or Usain Bolt praying for traction control, one truth burned rubber across them all. Formula One speed isn't meant to be watched, it's meant to be survived. And maybe that's the beauty of it. For a few glorious minutes, all the fame, confidence, and composure gets stripped away, leaving nothing but raw human reaction. Fear becomes laughter, panic becomes thrill, and everyone, no matter how big their name, walks away just a little more alive.